Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for episode 3 of Derpcast. 3 months already. I'm really excited about that. If you don't know what Derpcast is, basically we used to have this Let's Play series called Derpcraft where we played World of Warcraft, but we didn't actually get much World of Warcraft done because all we did was derp around and talk about things unrelated to the game. So we decided to make the whole series more inclusive, to be able to include more games, to include more topics, and not feel so limited to World of Warcraft. And thus Derpcast was born. Is a phoenix born from the ashes of Derpcraft. But everybody seems to really like it. We talk about all sorts of stuff, things that matter to us going on that month, movies, TV, games. We still do all of our Would You Rather questions because I know that was like one of the best parts of Derpcraft for everybody. And we take questions from people on Twitter, so it's sort of like a mini Q&A. It usually runs between about an hour and a half, an hour to 2 hours. And I think next month we're going to do our first special guest. Normally, Derpcast is the first Tues Derp of every month, but we're actually going to be at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital on the first Tuesday of April. So we will be doing April's show on April 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Same bat time, same bat channel, just a different day. So yeah, I think we are going to have our first special guest next month. We're pretty excited about it. But let's start off the video with some general topics. And listen, I had a very boring month, and I have a very boring month planned. So I literally have like holidays as our monthly things to talk about. So first up, Pi Day, which is March 14th. Get it? 314?
Yes.
What's your favorite kind of pie, Chiib?
My favorite kind of pie is cherry pie because it's so delicious. What's yours?
Like, probably pumpkin. Probably pumpkin.
You and Joel are the same. He loves pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie is so good.
But it's all the fruit inside.
But I don't think I've met a pie that I haven't liked. I don't tend to like, you know, like pudding-based pies, like chocolate cream pie and pistachio pie. I don't tend to like those types of pies, but like any fruit pie, any berry pie, apple pie. Have you ever had like the no-bake apple pie with like crumble and mascarpone cheese on it?
Yes.
Get it in my mouth. Get it in my fucking love pie. I fucking love pie. Pie is so, so good. Yeah. Apple pie with vanilla ice cream for days, pixel nut for days. So we both really like pie. I'm going to try really hard to make a pie on Pie Day this year. Or maybe I want to do a bunch of paintings to raffle off for St. Jude. I'm up to like, I don't know if you can, let me see if I can. I'm going to be raffling off the bottom painting there. That's a painting I did, and it's of the sky in Shadow Moon Valley from World of Warcraft, and it glows in the dark. All those rays that you see coming off of the moons actually glow in the dark. So I'm going to be raffling that one off, and then I told Chiib I was going to give her a painting, but I'm going to raffle that off too because I'm an asshole. Sorry, Chiib, love you.
Is it the Legend of Zelda one, or is it?
No, I'm going to do a painting specifically for you. That painting wasn't for you. You just said you liked it, and I was like, oh, you can have it. But I'm going to paint you something and bring it to St. Jude so that you can have it, and it'll be with the intention of for you, because I'm going to raffle off the Zelda one because I think it'll get a lot of money for St. Jude.
It's amazing looking.
Oh, thanks. When I do raffle off all my paintings, which I have, I think, 4 ready to go, all of them, 100% of the proceeds will be going to St. Jude. The only thing I'll take money for is shipping because it's really expensive to ship those types of
question. Are you raffling the one with the boat?
No.
You know, with the
no.
Okay, because that's my favorite one.
No.
That is like the best painting you've done so far. I love it.
Thank you. I'm not. That was kind of like, I got really emotional and sappy when I did that painting. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my Instagram because I did post pictures of them on Instagram. But I painted kind of an impressionist sunset, and it was like the lake reflected the sky, and it was kind of like, you could tell there was like a woods or something, and then there was like a fisherman fishing, and it was kind of like, I don't know, it's where I like to think my dad is. So no, that's hanging up. I kept that one.
Absolutely gorgeous. I love that painting.
Thank you.
I'm like, you did that, girl? That's so cool.
I just started, like, I've only done maybe 6 or 7 paintings total. It's just like a really fun and relaxing hobby for me. My next painting that I'm doing that I plan to do for St. Jude is I don't know if you guys are familiar with the opening scene of the original Pokemon, like from when Chiib and I were kids, but there's this scene at the very, very beginning when it's like, da-na-na, it starts out in outer space and you see Mewtwo fly across and then Mew flies in. Yes. And I'm doing the painting of like Mew floating in the sky with like the nebula and all the stars, and you can see the sun in the corner. So it'll be a galaxy painting with Mew in it. But I'm creating that with the 100% intention of raffling it off. And I just thought maybe for Pi Day it would be fun to do like a pi symbol over, like I'm kind of good at galaxy type stuff. Like that tends to be my wheelhouse, like of feeling okay with my paintings. So I was thinking about maybe doing like a pi symbol over like a galaxy background, kind of like a hipster cool sort of thing. I also thought about doing the Deathly Hallows symbol over like a galaxy background. Just stuff, because I really want people to feel like they can hang it up, and I don't want people to just like buy them because I did them or buy them because they want to donate money to St. Jude. I'm like really hoping it's something that people are like, oh, I really love that and I want to have that, and like this is for such a good cause. I want
to put it on my wall.
I want to put it on my wall. I bought varnish too, and when I do the raffle, I'm going to ask people if they want me to varnish it first, because some people prefer the look of the raw paint. Mm-hmm. And then other people would rather have it be protected, so if they need to like clean it or something, they can. So yeah, that's my one of my current plans. So maybe I'll try to do that for Pi Day, and I can show it to you guys next time we chit chat.
That would be awesome, Boo. I wish I could paint like you.
Have you tried, though? Because I'm telling you, it's not... Like, you draw really well, and I don't think I draw very well. Like, I can doodle, but, like, I don't draw particularly well, and painting is easier than drawing because it's all freeform. If you fuck up, you just paint more. If you fuck up really bad... I, like, made this one painting. Did I tell you about the painting of Colorado that I hated? No. So I was like, oh my god, I'm going to paint this mountainous scene in Colorado. Like, I don't know why. I've never been to Colorado. Like, whatever. But I was going to paint this, like, mountainous, like, sunset scene in Colorado. And I made the sunset, and I loved it. And I made the sun, and I loved it. And I made the clouds, and they were, like, the greatest clouds I've ever made. And then I put the mountains in. And things just went downhill very rapidly. It got so bad. It was the worst piece of shit. And it was one of the things where I was like painting, and I'd been painting for like 6 hours, and I was like, every time I do something, I hate it more. So I thought maybe I was just staring at it too long. You know, I put it aside. I turned the entire easel around so that I couldn't see it from my desk, and I didn't look at it for a week. And when I looked at it a week later, I thought it was uglier than when I left it a week ago. I was like, this is the worst thing ever. I can't deal. So I literally, the entire canvas is painted over black so that I can paint a galaxy or something over it, because it was the worst pile of steaming shit I've ever created in my life.
It's going to be an amazing galaxy.
You just wait. That's going to be the Mewtwo that's going to be the Mew Galaxy. You just wait. So, also, this month is St. Patrick's Day. Do we give a shit?
I don't care. I mean, I don't go out. I haven't drank in like 2-something years, so...
Hey, you had one glass of pink wine while you were with me at St. Jude last year. One glass.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were a traitor. I was like, oh, do you want to share a bottle of wine with me? It's only like 2 glasses each. You're like, oh, yeah, I'll totally share a bottle of wine with you. No big deal. She drinks a half a glass, and then I'm pressured to drink the whole rest of the bottle. So I was that guy who was drunk when every single other person was sober. And I was like, not at all
okay,
sober.
The bottle was much larger than I thought it was going to be. Like, I was scared that I would drink too much because at the time I was breastfeeding and, like, not right then and there.
Like,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, you know.
Yeah.
Because that would be awkward.
Because that would be awkward. No, last year's theme at our St. Jude Summit was Danielle accidentally getting way drunker than everybody else. Because don't get me wrong, I'll have a cocktail here or there, and I like to drink, like, reds, but I never really, like, get drunk. That's a very rare thing for me. Like, I usually just have 1 or 2, and I'm generally eating when I have 1 or 2. So, like, I was, like, a straight-up college student. I was, like, being around alcohol unsupervised, and I was just like, well, we're partying tonight. I just got, like, hammered every single night when we were done with every event. But luckily I have a fast metabolism, so I wasn't even hungover the next day. Plus, it's not like... I
made sure she was okay.
Yeah, she made sure I didn't get... Everybody was... No, I didn't punch anybody in the face this time. This time.
This time.
No, I'm actually generally a very happy, like, drunk person. I'm not usually, like, I mean, Sarah knows. Sarah's seen me drunk a few times. Although at St. Jude, I did cry drunk. It was an accident.
Well,
it's not my fault. There were, like,
understandable.
the time before that, like, the very first time I went to St. Jude, my dad had just been diagnosed as terminal, and he passed away, like, 2 months later. It was, like, at the start of the event. So I just had a lot of fucking feelings. And this year it's going to be bad, too, because his brick is in. Like, I just have a lot of feelings. And I'm going to sob. I'm going to, like, be that guy, like, kneeling down on the ground, sobbing. Ah. I don't have a cute cry face, either. That's okay.
I'll kneel down there.
No, dude, you have to get your emotions out. Like, there is nothing wrong with having a legitimate reason to be sad and feeling sad and then moving on with your life. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if you are a little drunk and disorderly and you start sobbing on a bus to somebody you just met named Ben. Hi, Ben.
You did that? When did you do that?
When we were on the bus back from the bar after karaoke. After karaoke.
Oh, I obviously did not supervise you as much as I thought.
One of the other broadcasters there, like, I don't know, he just said something and it struck an emotion, and then he was one of those people that made you feel really good about being sad. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like they're like, no, you deserve this. Like, you need to get it out. Like, you'll feel better. And, like, your dad was so amazing. Like, you have every reason to be sad that he's not with us anymore. Like, just sobbing on the bus. Like, just sobbing. Like, tears. I think there were 2 buses. I think that's why you weren't with me. I think I was on the second bus. Didn't we take 2 small buses back because there were a bunch of us?
I can't remember, honestly.
I feel like we got split up at some point. But yeah, I, like, sobbed on a bus to somebody I, like, didn't even know. But it was I don't regret it. It felt good. It was cathartic. Anyways, we're talking about some deep shit. St. Patrick's Day, I'm gonna make some corned beef.
Oh yeah,
I am not super into holidays, right? But, like, I love making the food of said holiday. Like, is it Christmas time? I'm making a fucking ham. I'm making a ham. There will be Christmas. Well, actually, I made a ham on Thanksgiving this year because I did Thanksgiving at my sister's house. So she made the turkey, or my grandma made the turkey. I don't know. I didn't make the fucking turkey, but I made a ham, and I made this glaze made out of Dr. Pepper, mustard, pineapple, and something spicy, and it was fucking amazing. I, like, poked holes in the ham so that all the juices infiltrated it.
Dr. Pepper.
I
would have never even thought to use
I don't even like Dr. Pepper, but because it's, like, sticky when it, like, cooks for all that time, it makes, like, a glaze that's, like, almost crunch. Oh, God, it was good. It was some good stuff. So, yeah, I really like to cook. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I really like to cook for holidays. That's, like, my thing. Like, I all of a sudden in the past year, I'm domesticated now. I had to buy a cupcake holder because they always make cupcakes to send to work with Nick.
Oh,
mostly I just
such a good wife.
No, no. I'm playing the long con here. I just want cupcakes, so I make them and then I eat like 10 of them and I send the other like 14 to work with him. And everybody's like, "Oh, your wife is so generous." No, my wife binge ate 10 cupcakes last night. She still has frosting on her face.
They don't need to know that part.
Yeah, so I bought this like Tupperware cupcake container that he can bring to work, and it's got a handle so that the frosting doesn't touch, and it's got little cups that you put the cupcakes in so they don't fall over.
That's awesome.
I know. So I always used to say I couldn't cook, and then like I've been cooking a lot. Like I feel good about myself. We're also getting very fat. Like I have to stop cooking because everything I cook has a full stick of butter in it. Everything.
I don't think it's possible for you to get fat, Danielle.
I'm skinny fat. You don't know my life. Don't make me show you my skinny fat rolls right here and now. I'll do it. Look at my arms. That's not muscle.
If we think your arms aren't even big at all.
They're not big, but they're just bone and fat. Look at that.
No, it doesn't matter how much you jiggle it. It's not fat.
Listen. I am the skinny, fattest person you've ever seen in your life. Like, I weigh 115 pounds, and I'm convinced 85 of that is cellulite.
Well, it looks good on you.
Yep, I don't care. Also, first day of spring is March 20th.
Yay!
The delay.
Spring!
Okay, so did you guys actually have a real winter over there in Kansas?
No.
We didn't either. It's fucking weird. I live in Rochester, which is like the snowiest city in the continental U.S., and we got like less than a foot of snow. What is that? Well, no, we got 2 feet in one day, and that's like all we've gotten.
It maybe snowed 3 times here, and it barely even stuck. I'm like, really?
Well,
where's my white Christmas?
The 2 feet melted in like a week. Really, really strange. Really strange. So the first day of spring is March 20th. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like, what if winter actually starts on March 20th?
Then I would be happy that I'd actually get to experience winter.
No, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy. Please don't do that. But, like, I don't know. It's the most bizarre season of my entire life. I am 27. I'll be 28 this year. And I cannot recall ever the weather being this strange. You burping on stream? Rude.
Yes.
Okay. So Easter is March 27th. Are you doing anything special for Abby?
Easter, I mean, she's walking very well now, and she gets so excited picking everything up and looking at it, and she repeats everything I say. So I think if I hid Easter eggs everywhere, she would be so excited. So
especially if you got the bigger ones that she could open and you had things in them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna do. I think.
Please
I'll have
don't
her
put
find
kale
Easter
puffs
eggs.
in her Easter eggs. Please don't do that.
Do what?
Put kale puffs in her Easter eggs.
Kale puffs are so good for her, though.
I mean,
I'll give her candy just for you.
You don't have to give her candy, like, per se. It doesn't have to be candy, but, like, that poor baby and her kale.
Kale's delicious.
It's not. No. No, do you know what delicious is? Bacon. Bacon's
I actually
delicious.
think that I'm going to have a vegetarian because she will not, like, I've tried so many times to give her meat and she'll only eat turkey. That's the only meat that she'll eat. She, like,
I don't think that's uncommon,
spits
though.
out every other meat that I try to give her.
I feel like she's at an age where she's, like, finding herself, you know? She's, like, starting to really develop into, like, from, like, a baby to, like, I'm a person. Listen, I have my own tastes. You don't control me.
Listen, okay, I'm 16 months old.
You don't get
me.
me.
You don't know.
You don't understand. Like, she's just, like, on her way. Like, I mean, she might end up being a vegetarian, and I know that you're the type of person that would support that. Not me. If I had a child, I'd be stuffing cheeseburgers down their throat. Eat the meat.
I mean, I wouldn't go out.
I'd baby bird that shit. I would eat it myself and then spit it into their mouth.
I would support it, but I wouldn't also be that mom that would go like buy tofu and like make tofu things.
No, you would have to, because she wouldn't be healthy if you didn't give her like some sort of like replacement. A lot of vegetarians, though, it's not really that they eat, like, I feel like that's a non-vegetarian way of thinking of vegetarianism. Like, a lot of vegetarians don't really eat like tofu. I mean, they do, but not like regularly. They just eat a lot of like nuts and peanut butter and beans, like not like green beans, but like hearty beans, you know, like pinto beans and black beans and stuff like that. Yeah. And you can also get, like, I don't know if you've ever tried any of the Morningstar stuff. Maybe she would like that. Who knows? But Morningstar, I was a vegetarian for a little while. Did you know that?
I don't think that's possible.
I was for like a long time. Yeah, no, I was a vegetarian, but
a vegetarian.
It wasn't by choice. I had really weird digestive issues when I was a kid. Like, I had a hiatal hernia when I was like 11, which is like unheard of. That's like an old man disease, and I had it when I was 11. It basically means that part of your stomach gets stuck. Like, you have like a little butthole where your esophagus meets your stomach. Like, you do. And basically what happened was my stomach got sucked up into, like, my esophageal butthole. Okay. And then it got, like, stuck there and, like, grew out the side. So I had this little stomach pouch on my way down to my stomach, and food would get stuck there. And then it was, like, too much to go into the stomach butthole, and it would be, like, horrifically painful. So, like, the doctor put me on all these, like, crazy diets, basically to limit, like, how much acid my stomach would produce, like, how easy things were to digest, how easy things were to chew, because if anything, like, bread was the worst. Because bread, when you chew bread, it kind of gets, like, doughy and, like, a ball. Like, it's not, unless you take really tiny bites of bread, like, everybody's freaking out about an esophageal butthole. But if you don't take, like, tiny bites of bread, it, like, lumps up. It doesn't, like, break down. So I would get, like, anytime I ate, like, a sandwich, it would make me throw up because it would get stuck and, like, just sit there, and it was, like, really, really painful. So my doctor, one of the things he suggested was that I go on to, like, a vegetarian diet because meat is obviously one of the hardest things to, like, completely chew to the point of not being a thing. So I ate, like, I guess I was technically a pescatarian because I ate eggs and I ate a lot of tuna fish because, like, that was something I could eat without getting sick. But
so I had the opposite problem.
Oh my God, your butthole had a problem?
Huh?
Nothing.
I wanted to be a vegetarian as a kid. Like, I didn't want to eat animals because I loved animals so much. I thought, I'm eating all these animals, like, I don't want to eat them, so I just stopped. And I became very weak, and my mom took me to the doctor, and they're like, your kid's anemic. Like, she needs to eat and take a lot of iron. And my parents were basically like, we can't afford for you to be a vegetarian, so you're gonna have to eat meat.
Yeah.
And I've never gone back.
Yep, that's a true story. I stopped being a vegetarian because I worked at a because I kind of, like, lost the taste for meat for a while. Like, after you don't, because I didn't eat meat for, like, 6 or 7 years, probably. So, like, after you don't eat meat for that long, you kind of don't want it. Like, it's not, like, a thing that you really, like, crave. Like, anything in life, you kind of become addicted to it, which I'm very much addicted to meat now. But I worked at a really fancy restaurant, and my boss was like, we had filet mignon on special, and he was like, if I make you a filet mignon, will you eat it? And I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Who would turn that down?
Yeah, and then I, like, started eating meat again very promptly, which was also a digestive nightmare. Like, pretty much, like, I should probably just be a vegetarian that eats, like, all bland food, and instead I just put sriracha on everything and then suffer the consequences.
Sriracha is delicious.
Hot sauce in general is delicious. Like, you know what I made the other day? I made homemade Alfredo sauce, and then I added, like, Frank's Red Hot chili powder,
oh my gosh,
cayenne pepper, and
so
like
good.
Cherry peppers diced up in it. So I made, like, buffalo Alfredo sauce. Dear God, hold me. It was so good. So good.
I love spicy stuff. I would have consumed that.
I did. There were repercussions to my actions. St. Jude is so close!
On that note, St. Jude.
Sorry, I'm not good. I'm not good at transitions. I'm so excited. So Chiib and I are sharing a room at St. Jude.
Yeah.
We're rooming together. This is my dream. This is my dream in life. I'm super excited. Hopefully Chiib will hold me accountable for vlogging because I'm the worst. As somebody who's a professional internet person, I fucking never vlog. I never vlog. We're out in a public place. I don't even fucking take pictures. I'm the worst. Like, I am very much immersed in my moment, and I completely forget that there are people around me. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm here, and I'm doing stuff. And they're like, do you want to take a picture? And I'm like, not really. No.
Let's do all the things.
Let's do stuff. Like, I went to England last year, and, like, I maybe took 10 pictures. Nick took hundreds.
Aww.
I maybe took 10 pictures. Like, I'm just really bad at documenting my experiences. So hopefully I will remember to vlog. And, like, this year you can blame Chiib if I don't vlog.
I'm going to follow you around with the camera.
Oh, you can look at how good my new camera is for vlogging. So this is obviously the lens. Mm-hmm. And, like, you can see yourself directly, like, on top.
Wow, that's
nice.
awesome.
Oh, look, there's us. You can see in the reflection.
I see us.
There's us. We're in the TV. Mom, get the camera. So I just got that. So I think it'll be really good for vlogging, hopefully.
I am so excited for St. Jude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me more, boo.
I really hope that I talked to my doctor about it. If y'all don't know, I'm pregnant. Mm-hmm. And I talked to my doctor about it, and she gave me the okay to go.
Good.
She said that because I have to see her every 2 weeks now, so if she says that if complications were to happen, which are unlikely.
You're at a fucking hospital anyways.
Hey! But she would say that I can't go if something crazy happened. But right now seems like it's looking good.
Good.
I can't wait. Last year we actually asked them if we could be in the same room together, and they put us in separate rooms.
It was really upsetting. And we both had 2 beds in our separate rooms. That was the best part about that. Is like I slept in one bed one night, and then one bed the next night, and then the next bed the next night. Like I just kept switching beds. But yeah, this year we're sharing a room. I'm super excited about it. Like, my plan is to wake up in the morning when Chiib really needs to use the bathroom and blow that shit up so that you don't want to go in there. I look forward to it. Be like, oh, do you have to use the bathroom? I'm almost done. And then you walk in there and you're like, oh my god!
Just crawl out.
It's a war zone in here! That's my life goal.
Gas.
I thought we were friends! I don't know what's wrong with me, but I really mean that. That's not a joke.
That's okay, boo.
I
wake up early now.
Oh, I don't. Like,
so
maybe
I'll probably get there before you.
Fuck. I'm super excited though. Like, we had such a good time last year, like, despite my like ugly crying and like my drunken shenanigans, and like it was still such a great time, and I'm really excited for this year. And I'm so excited for this year's event because I'm doing a bunch of paintings to raffle off, and I'm going to be streaming a lot, probably Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, World of Warcraft. I want to plan more World of Warcraft because those were my most popular streams last year, but I never know what to stream in WoW because I don't PvP. Yeah. And I feel like that's what most WoW streamers stream. And like, I can't stream my raids, guys. It gets fucking inappropriate. People get like mad at each other. It gets inappropriate. So like, I gotta fix your screen. I'm sorry if people can see my mouse, but you're like overlapping and I just noticed it. All right.
Whoopsie.
There we go. There we go. It's fixed. So what are you gonna stream?
I stream a bunch of variety things, so it's whatever's out at the time I'll probably jump into. Of course, Final Fantasy 14 I always keep in my streams, but I usually just jump from new game to new game to new game to just kind of see what all the hype is about. Like right now I just bought Stardew Valley.
I'm not sure if you've ever played. I have not played it, but like I saw you and I was like, that looks fun.
Yeah, have you ever played like Harvest Moon, Boo?
I played what was the one? Phantasmal. There was a version of Harvest Moon that was set in the future.
Oh, okay.
It was called...
Well, if you enjoyed that, if it was like Harvest Moon, you would enjoy Stardew Valley. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, is it on Steam?
Yeah, girl. It's like $14.99. It's not bad at all. I lost track playing it the other day. It's so much fun.
I can't... Okay, wait. I have to address chat right now. Like, number one, I'm pretty positive that someone in this chat is from my raid based on that comment. Number two... Okay, now there's like 3 people who are definitely my guildies, and I need you guys to not... It's not appropriate for a stream for children's cancer. Like, it is not... Our guild is not appropriate. You can dress us up, but you can't take us out, and we would get kicked off of Twitch.
Is there like a lot of cursing and
stuff? We're all actually like super good friends, so that kind of leads to us like making fun of each other on a very inappropriate level. Like, there's one guy in our guild. No, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it because no matter how much we're all like best friends and like everything's fine, like if I say the things that go on in our raid, like there's just no way that people would respect me anymore. Respect lost. No. We're just like, I don't know. I really like everybody. Does anybody know that game I was talking about, the Harvest Moon game that was like set in the future? I feel like I had the name Phantasmal in it. It might not though. Anywho, do we care that Leonardo DiCaprio won an Oscar?
I mean, I personally don't. I thought he had won for Titanic, but I guess not.
No, that was like the meme. That was the joke, is that like Oscar, like Leo couldn't get an Oscar no matter what he did.
And he finally got one.
He got one. And it's funny because I know a few people who saw The Revenant and they said it wasn't that good.
Maybe they just felt bad for him. They're like, you know what? He's tried so many times. Let's just give him one.
I really enjoyed, there was a video of him like chit-chatting with the person who was engraving it. And he was so funny because he was like, oh, so do you do this every year? Do you have to engrave everybody's Oscars every year? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, I wouldn't know. And then she gave him a pamphlet, and he was like, wait, I have to maintain this? Like, what does it need? It was great. I like him. He seems relatable.
He does seem relatable.
He seems relatable. He's so hot. So hot.
Really? You
think
so?
I think I have an issue somewhere because, like, aging dudes, like, that age, like, mid 40s is, like, that's a good age. That's a good age of man.
I never thought he was
No, I think he's
weird.
getting better with age. I think he looks manlier and, like, ruggeder. Like, I think
it's
he
like
was...
a good wine.
I feel like he was, like, very pretty boy, like, in Titanic days, and I feel like as he gets older, he's just getting, like, lumberjackier. Like, every year he gets a little closer to chopping down a California redwood.
You hear that, everybody? Danielle likes the lumberjacks.
Old lumberjacks. What's my type? I don't know. I just think he's a good-looking dude, and I think maybe it's that he always is dripping in hot women. Maybe it's that like he always walks around with these gorgeous women hanging off him. So maybe he's not that hot. Maybe I'm tricked by society. Maybe
it's an optical illusion. Have a hot woman on your arm,
and all of a sudden women are interested in you. Ooh, what's he got? I don't understand. What? Anyways. What else? Oh, the Loot Crate theme. So this month was really good, right? Did you open yours yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so this month's Loot Crate was super good. I love the shirts. This was the Level Up shirt this month. It's like a Hannibal Lecter Silence of the Lambs shirt. The premium wearable was really good too. It was like a scoop neck, like low cut cleavage shirt that kind of fit flowy and loose, and it had Deadpool stuff all over it. But next month, I'm super fucking excited because there's Marvel, Star Trek. I don't really care about Alien vs. Predator, but Batman vs. Superman.
Ooh.
Batman vs. Superman, go.
What? Who would win?
Who is your choice?
I think that Superman would win over Batman.
Yeah, because Superman's a demigod with actual superpowers. Batman is a disgruntled orphan with a lot of money.
But then again, if Batman knew about kryptonite, he could have a fighting chance.
I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't really matter because the movie is not actually about Batman versus Superman. It's about the formation of the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see it. Oh, we were going to talk about movies soon anyway, so let's just transition into movies. Did you ever see Star Wars?
No, but I did go and see Deadpool.
All right, I'll give you that. Okay, number one, you're dead to me, but now you've become reborn. Because Star Wars was so good. Did you love Deadpool?
I absolutely loved it. Somebody took their child to see it.
How little?
Somebody took their 3-year-old child to see Deadpool.
No.
He was running up and down the aisles. Luckily, she took him out at the beginning of the movie, and I think she just, because there was like this ad that said, this is not for children, you should not have your children here, and I think she saw that, and she's like, I'm just gonna sit it outside the entire time. So she did. She just sat outside, and her husband watched it, and I was like, oh, well, that sucks for her, but you shouldn't.
Did you see Ryan Reynolds' penis?
No, I don't think that was actually his penis.
It was actually his penis. He confirmed it.
Seriously?
He's a shower, not a grower. Or he had an erection. One of the two.
I don't think he had a... I think I'm gonna have to rewatch it just to confirm that may or may not actually be his penis.
Definitely his penis.
Because usually when they do a scene like that, it's not,
That is the part. Listen, when a man takes his pants off and there's a dangly bit in between his legs, that's his penis.
You see, Sarah, there's this dangly piece between.
I'm really confused because you're pregnant, and I feel like you should know this.
You see, that is called the penis.
So yeah, I was disappointed that he was all burnt up when his penis was out. Like, how am I supposed to objectify you in this situation, Ryan Reynolds? I've been listening to people talk about how you're daddy now for weeks, and now like you have a crispy penis. Like, I'm confused. I feel really confused. I have the weirdest girl boner right now.
I don't know how to feel right now.
It wasn't a stunt penis. So he confirmed it was his penis. It was his penis. He is a shower, not a grower. Unless he's a grower, in which case he's fucking terrifying. Oh, God. Moving on.
Let's just hope that he's not a grower,
But
everybody.
please don't be a grower if, like, that's scary. I'm scared. Unless he had, like, a downward boner. I mean, that's possible. I don't know how it hangs. Well, I guess I do now.
Is that possible?
I
don't think that's possible.
I think you could have a downward boner. Because it's like, I mean, you could move it if you needed to. But, like, maybe it doesn't stand straight out. Maybe it's so heavy and hefty that it,
I think that there's something wrong with your penis if it's a downward boner.
Don't stream. If any of you guys have downward boners, don't listen to Sarah. She's being very judgmental right now. Listen.
I think, please, go see a doctor. There's something wrong with your penis.
Okay, moving on.
I'm concerned about you. That is what... Okay.
Sarah's concerned about your penis. Sarah 2016. Anyways, it's a new yoga stance, the downward boner. See, gravity, yes, thank you. Thank you for understanding. Moving on. Batman versus Superman, which we were just talking about, but now we're back to talking about again. Are you excited?
Okay.
Is this a movie you're going to see?
I mean... No.
What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I'm so done with you. First, you deny downward boners being a thing. Then you're not going to go see Batman versus Superman. I don't know why we're friends.
I've never really liked either of them. Is that...
But it's the Justice League of America.
I'm not really a Batman or Superman fan.
Fine.
Give me, like...
Or apparently a Star Wars fan. Or a Ryan Reynolds dick fan. What kind of fan are you?
Hey, now. Don't make those accusations, okay?
Okay. Did you see, when you went and saw Deadpool, did you see the preview for 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yes. It looks like it'd be very good.
That movie looks freaky as shit. Like, I don't even know what it's about. Is it about aliens?
I'm thinking yes. I think it's about aliens.
I didn't see the original Cloverfield, like the one that came out when we were in high school. But I think this is like a remake of that of some sort. It might not be, but I feel like they used the words right. But like just the idea of like an underground bunker and like she doesn't know if they're the bad guys or if the bad guys are outside, like that's just so like mindfucky to me. I don't know if I'll see it. There was another movie that was in theaters too. Did you see any previews for The Witch?
Oh, I have seen previews for that. That looks really weird.
That movie looks so scary. Like, I can't decide if I want to see it or if I never fucking want to see it ever. Because, like, lately I've been dipping into the horror genre. Like, you know, for a lot... The Walking Dead really opened my eyes to that I can handle more than, like, I give myself credit for. Because Supernatural is also considered to be part of the horror genre.
It is?
It is.
I thought it was, like, sci-fi.
Nope. And, like, I feel like I can handle things. And I've always, like, I watch Salem. Like, I don't know if you watch that show. I tend to like period pieces about, like, you know, the period of time when people believed in witches a lot and bitches got burned at the stake. And, like, I just think that's super interesting. Like, I know it's, like, grave and terrible, but, like, I think it's really, really interesting. And that's what that whole movie is about, except I'm pretty sure someone actually is a fucking witch. But who? In Salem... In the show Salem, like, they mind fuck you about who the witch is, and then when you find out who the witch is, she's just got everybody believing someone else is a witch. It's awful. I thought Salem was really good. I've been waiting for the second season to come out to Netflix.
I need to watch that then. So it's on Netflix?
It's on, yeah, the first season is on Netflix, and it is dark as fuck. It is, like, very, very, like, dark and dreary, and it's one of those things that's just, like, a parfait of fucked up nonsense. Like, there's just layers.
Something I shouldn't watch.
No, you would like it. Don't watch it with Abigail. Like, don't watch it with Abigail. But, like, yeah, I don't know. And I really liked, did you ever read the book, The Crucible?
No, I have not.
Okay, so that was the book about, like, the Salem witch trials. Not specifically the Salem witch trials, but it was about, like, witches and voodoo and stuff like that, except no one's really a witch. And, well, I think there might be one witch in the book. I don't really remember. But the point is all these girls are, like, turning on each other and accusing each other of being witches, and people start getting like burned at the stakes, and then it's like this big power play. It's a very fucking dark piece of English literature.
Oh.
But yeah, it is a play. It is a play. Yeah, I got off topic there. Someone said Cloverfield was about it's about keeping her in this bunker after this chemical attack, but you don't know if there's really if there was ever a chemical attack or not. Like, you don't know if she's in some
big flashing light?
I don't know.
You know? Like, she starts going out there.
Well, she looks
like
scared, right? Like, when she opens it, he's like, don't open the door! We'll all die! And then she's like, I'm gonna open the door! Oh, fuck, I can't! You know, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
What? She's just keeping them down there.
You think
that's what it's gonna turn out to be?
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be, like, worse than they thought. Like, I think he's gonna have been onto something, and then she opens it, and then they have to deal with that situation because she put them in that situation. I don't know. It looks scary. I'm sorry to have gone back like that. So we were just talking about The Walking Dead and Supernatural, so let's transition to television. Do you like this is my transitional arms. I don't really know what that means, but are you caught up on The Walking Dead?
Of course. I watch it as soon as it comes out, girl.
Me too. I actually, like, after years and years of protest, we changed our raid schedule so that I didn't have to wait to watch The Walking Dead. Don't tell the rest of my raid. But nice. I have always hated raiding on Sundays because, like, all the shows that I care about are on Sundays, and I, like, can't avoid spoilers. Mm-hmm. So The Walking Dead is the second half of this season has been so good.
So good.
Like, we've had the 3 episodes. It was the big action episode, and then I felt like last episode was, like, kind of funny and a day-to-day kind of stuff and, like, witty and character development. And then now I feel like this last episode was a setup for shit to hit the fan.
Why do they have so many different directors? Like, I like whoever directed the first episode of it's not even the season. It's not a new season.
Are you talking
right?
about the mid-season comeback episode?
Yes, that
the big action.
That, oh my god.
See, I disagree. Amazing. I did not like the direction personally of that. I didn't. Excuse me, that was a hiccup. I did not like it when they had the scene where everybody was like slashing, and there was like a montage of slashing, but they're just like in this black room. Like, I thought that was really like, we get it, your art. It's fucking art. We get it. I don't know. It, like, wasn't my thing, personally. But, like, I know a lot of people really praised the directing in that episode.
I loved it.
Yeah. Nick liked it, too. I want to talk more about The Walking Dead, but I don't want to, like, spoiler people.
Yeah.
We're not
going to
talk about it. I'm excited to see where it's going, though. I'm really hyped about this season. So I'm glad to see that someone else wasn't impressed with that either. Because I thought it was really tacky how many times it was evident they were just in a black room with, like, 4 or 5 walkers. Like, it wasn't... They were trying to give you this, like, abyss of nighttime feeling, and I just felt like I could... It took me out of the moment. I felt like all of a sudden I could tell they were just in a studio slashing a weapon in front of a camera. Like, instead of putting me in the moment, it took me out of it. But my immersion, Kappa, my immersion. Okay, so how about I'm on season 3 of Supernatural now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you've met Castiel?
Not yet. He's not.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, not yet. We're in the Bella story arc right now. Do you remember her? She's Maggie from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Fucking Maggie from The Walking Dead. That's the story. I think I'm towards the end of her story arc right now. She just kind of, like, sold them out. I might be at the end of season 2, but I'm definitely, like, very late season 2 or early season 3. But it's really good, and it's consistently getting better. Like, if you compare, like, season 1 to, like, the beginning of season 2, and then the beginning of season 2 to the end of season 2, like, it went from, like, a 6 to a 7 to an 8 very rapidly,
yes,
and Nick told me it gets better as it goes. I have not... Like, I know that Dean obviously does not permanently die after his deal to save Sam, like, because there's still 10 more seasons of the show. But I'm sitting here, like, racking my brain trying to figure out how he's not going to die, because I've met Ruby, the demon, and she came back and was like, Dean, you're going to be a demon, too. That's what happens when you go to hell. So, yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
No, I appreciate that.
I don't want to spoil
No, I appreciate it. So that's where I am right now. People have been interested in hearing that because I'm very far behind on this bandwagon, but I'm very much enjoying it. And
it's so good.
Have you watched Fuller House?
I haven't yet. I need to.
You
It's
should
Netflix,
watch it.
right?
You can watch that with Abigail too. It's like, it's really wholesome. The first episode, okay, if you haven't watched Fuller House yet, the first episode is cheesy as fuck. You could skip the first episode and it wouldn't matter. The first episode is very like, throwback reference. Look at us all. We're from the original show. Ah! Very, very, like, unreasonably cheesy. But it's better after that. I mean, they have these little cheesy moments, but Full House always had cheesy moments. So it's not like that is... I don't know. I feel like the rest of the show, like, after the first episode, is they do really well-timed references and, like, cute little things like that. And my takeaway from Fuller House is that, like, Jodie Sweetin looks so good. Like, she literally... You hear all these stories about her. She was, like, one of those child actresses that went crazy and did meth.
Oh.
Yeah, like, she was, like, in rehab and had all these, like, really bad personal problems. And, like, she looks fucking fantastic. Like, she got her shit together, man. She looks great. And her body is thick. I don't know. She looks awesome. I'm, like, I don't know why I'm a 12-year-old boy, but that was my takeaway from the whole show.
Well, then
she dresses really good, too. I just feel like every time she wears anything, I'm like, well, I want to wear that. I want to wear that. She dresses so good.
Well, it's good that she got over all of that.
Yeah, it's because she had a kid. She had a kid and got her life together.
Oh.
In real life, not in the show. She doesn't have a kid in the show. Also, Game of Thrones is so soon!
I cannot wait.
So do you want to know, like, 2 mini spoilers that I know?
You've already spoiled it for yourself?
No, well, no. I mean, the books are not caught up. These are, like, one of them is, like, I know something about the first episode, and I know that one character doesn't die in the whole season. Do you want to know?
Yes and no.
All right, so Melisandre is in the very first episode, in the very first scene of the first episode of the new season.
Wait, who is? Your mic broke up.
The red lady, Melisandre. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? She's gonna res Jon Snow.
Hopefully that she brings back my husband, Jon Snow.
Yeah, so I think that's what that which was my theory the whole time. Like, she didn't just randomly show up like she owned the place for no reason, so I called that. And then watch, I'm going to be totally wrong. She's going to show up and, like, bury his body. But we know she's in the first scene of the first episode of the new season, so we'll see what happens there. And then, do you want to know one character who's safe for the whole season? I won't tell you if you don't want to know.
Yes.
It's Sansa.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Sansa.
She, like, gave that away at the Oscars. They interviewed her on the red carpet of the Oscars, and she was like, I'm just happy my character doesn't die. Like, were you contractually allowed to say that? Like, are you getting fired? Are you definitely going to die now? So.
Watch her have been joking about it. And
it's like the long con.
She actually does die.
Oh, I hope not. She's one of my
That would be the
favorites.
biggest troll move.
Oh. What? No, I didn't see that. Apparently George R.R. Martin, is that his name? Is that right? George R.R. Martin, the writer. He said he has plot twist plans for a character that the show killed off. So I don't know if they're talking about Jon Snow or maybe if they're talking about someone else. I think it would be really interesting because we know that Bran is a warg, like a warg, that can, like, turn into animals and stuff. I would think it would be really interesting if, like, there was another character the whole time who, like, has been able to do that. And maybe they died early on, but, like, they shifted before they died. So they've really been, like, something else, like, in something else, controlling something else the whole time. Mm-hmm. And we just didn't know.
That would be cool.
Right? I believe that too, Nova. I think that's true too. I think Jon Snow is, like, the true heir to the throne. Like,
I agree.
I think Jon Snow is, like, the true king. And, like, of all the characters on the show, he would be the one that would be like, I'm a Daenerys fangirl, but, like, Daenerys is not a good leader. Like, she's very selfish in her, like, practices, and, like, her whole quest for the throne is vengeful. She doesn't want to, like, help people.
Well, she has helped people, per se.
Like,
I mean, she freed all of those.
Yeah,
place.
but like they showed a lot of the repercussions of
her doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm excited to see where the show goes. Like, I think it's really, really a good show. I just hope it's not like, oh, like, I'm so sick of the Cersei in jail and the Marjorie in jail and the king is a pussy. And, like, like, the King's Landing storyline for me right now is, like, well, I guess Cersei's not in jail anymore because she did her walk of shame. But, like, Marjorie is still in jail, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I'm
pretty sure she's still there.
I can't deal. No, it would be bad. Like, Daenerys cannot lead with Jon Snow. That would make them, like, cousins. I guess that doesn't matter to the Targaryens, though. They're always fucking their brothers. Anywho. So, I'm very excited to see what happens. Because I just have no idea. And, like, there's no way of, like, making good predictions in Game of Thrones because they fucking don't care. Like, I've never seen a show kill so many main characters in my life.
Right?
Nobody has plot armor. Like, in The Walking Dead, you can almost guarantee, like, Carl's not gonna die, Rick's not gonna die, Daryl's probably not gonna die. Like, there's a bunch of, like, very central characters.
Carol. Yeah.
Carol's probably not gonna die. Even, like, Michonne, like, they're not killing her off for a while. You know what I mean? Like, if they kill her off at all. Like, there are some people who genuinely have plot armor, and, like, I don't feel like anybody in Game of Thrones has plot armor. Like, if something happened and they killed off, like, Cersei, Sansa, Arya, and, like, Daenerys, I'd believe it. I'd be like, what the fuck? Why? Of course this happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... Oh my god, and Arya's blind. That was, like, the end of the last season, too, is Arya is blind.
Yeah?
And she, like, finds her own face, doesn't she?
Yeah. She does.
That's interesting, too.
At least if I'm remembering, she finds her own face.
Yeah, it was creepy. So I'm really excited for Game of Thrones. That's the TLDR on that situation. And now we're going to talk about World of Warcraft and other video games. I'm sorry that I say World of Warcraft. You start.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you start.
I was talking about Stardew Valley earlier.
Yeah, you were.
Discussed that one. Oh my gosh. That game is so much fun.
Yeah?
I definitely recommend it to anybody who enjoyed Harvest Moon.
I need to try that. That sounds fun. I just have no time to do anything. Like, that's my whole life, is being like, oh, I want to do this thing. I don't have time. Like, I've been trying to go to the post office for 2 fucking weeks.
Oh, my poor boo's so busy.
Like, someday I'll get to the post office. If I'm supposed to be shipping you something, I'm genuinely really sorry. I'm trying, I swear.
She's very busy. I can attest to that. What else? I forget what I had put down in my notes now.
You put down The Walking Dead Michonne?
Oh my god, yes. Okay, well, is The Walking Dead Michonne, if you like the character Michonne, I definitely recommend playing that game.
Does it go into her, like, backstory?
It gives you a little bit of her backstory, yes.
I feel like she really hasn't gotten a... Like, we got a tiny bit of backstory, but a lot of assumptions had to be made.
Well, it follows her comic book character's backstory, if that makes sense. Because I'm pretty sure in the show... it showed her with a little boy, didn't it?
Yeah, she had a
kid.
Yeah.
And in the comics, in this video game, she has 2 little girls, which of course makes me feel the feels.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm gonna have 2 little girls, so I'm already in her place. Like, I'm already feeling her feels. And you haven't in the first episode. You kind of get some of that story, like what happens to her daughters, like how does she handle everything, basically. It's just very emotional, and it's very good. There's going to be 3 episodes in all.
Well, I just feel like in the actual show, we got the weirdest glimpse of me. Like, she got the least backstory of any character. And the backstory wasn't in-depth enough to... Like, all you really found out were that her 2 pets were people from her real life, and they were the reason her child died. But, like, if I remember correctly, her child didn't even die because of the zombie apocalypse.
I can't remember.
I feel like it was just a regular accident. Or maybe, like, I can't remember, but, like, I know it was those 2 guys that she had on leashes. It was their fault her kid died. But they didn't really, like, go into, like, at one point in her backstory, they show her, like, taking her katana, like, out of, like, a regular butcher block, and it went down into the counter kind of thing. But they never really explain why she was, like, fluent in katana. Like, they never really, like, were they drug dealers? Like, we know that she was very upscale, but, like, she also has a katana, which is not your general, like, doctor, lawyer, I make good money type situation. Like, it just was really confusing. Like, she literally just had a katana, and that was they just never explained why she had a katana, and, like, they never really explained, like, we know so many other people's, like, what they did for jobs and, like, what their life was before. Like, we know Carol was a homemaker. She got beat by her husband. She had a daughter. The daughter died. We know that, we know Daryl was kind of like a drifter, and he just did odd jobs with his brother and ripped people off and was kind of like a sort of con artist, bad guy, wrong side of the law. We know that Rick was a sheriff, and he had gotten in this accident. He got shot. He was in a coma. He had a wife and a kid. We even know more of Shane's backstory, and he was in 1 fucking season. We know Herschel was a vet. We know, even like Glenn. We know Glenn was like a pizza boy, although they've never really given us a lot of Glenn backstory either. I don't think there's ever been a scene of Glenn before the apocalypse. Like, ever. But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really odd to me that, like, Michonne had that, like, they showed this glimpse of her life, and we knew that one of the dudes was, like, her boyfriend, and one of the dudes was, like, I don't know, her boyfriend's friend, or her boyfriend's, like, partner. I don't fucking know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. We know she had a kid, so we feel sympathy for her, but why the fuck did she have a katana in her butcher's block? I need more answers. This explains nothing.
Explain more to me,
Yeah, please. I don't know. Like, that's very confusing to me. But Glenn still had a family, like, regardless of him being, like, a nobody and, like, not being, like, we knew he was, like, a pizza delivery guy. Like, I still would have loved to see, like, his interactions with his family and friends or something, even just a glimpse of who he was before the apocalypse, because he's a badass now. And he was a badass from day fucking 1. Like, I don't care if you are brave enough to be, like, running around and, like, baiting zombies and saving strangers. Like, I would love to see a scene of, like, Glenn getting bullied in high school or something. Not because I want him to be bullied, but, like, that's character depth, and that's, like, you learn more about him and, like, why he's the way he is. And, like, he has a great story now, but we don't, even, like, he mentioned in a recent episode that, like, oh, his parents. We've never heard or seen Glenn's parents, ever.
Yeah.
Like, we've never had any answers as to, like, how Glenn ended up where he ended up, and I would have liked to know. Like, I would have liked to know that. And I feel like there's other people that we got excessive backstory on that we didn't need.
Yeah. I think there's too many characters now.
There's a lot of fucking characters right now.
So many characters.
And just when I thought they got rid of a bunch, now we have a whole new settlement of people. Although I think the Jesus guy is going to be part of the main cast. I think that settlement's getting wiped the fuck out. I think goodbye to that settlement. That's just a personal feeling. I think that they're going to go to the other place. They're going to lose that fight. That's not going to go well for them. And then in retaliation, they're going to completely wipe out the other settlement. And then they're going to go back to Alexandria. And, like, that will be, like, the final battle, which will probably be the season cliffhanger. And we won't even know how that ends for another fucking year.
For another year.
So, but I don't...
Why can't it just be every Sunday forever?
Why can't they just release it like Netflix shows? Like, if I have to wait a year, can't you give me everything at once?
I just want it all so I can binge on it right away.
Why must you tease me so? So, I don't know how well that's going to go. Did you see that Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow is on 3DS now?
I did not.
Oh, that's the thing. It's $10.
Oh, snap,
yeah.
girl.
I, like, dug out my 3DS. I haven't downloaded it yet because I haven't found the charger for my 3DS, but definitely going to be getting me one of those, just saying.
Oh, very nice. I'm excited for Sun and Moon.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've tried to get into the couple more recent Pokemons, and it's just, like, there's too many Pokemons. Like, it's not, and I'm not like, oh, our Pokemon were so much better. Like, 151 for life, yo. Like, it's not even like that. It's just it just makes me feel old. There's like 6,471 Pokemon these days. Like, I can't keep up with the youths and their newfangled Pokemon.
A lot of the Pokemon that they've come out with, though, just look absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, they've really gone out. Like, there's an ice cream cone Pokemon. What the fuck is that? Ice cream doesn't need to be a Pokemon. Like, I don't know. And I'm not even sure how I feel about Pokemon Go. I feel like I was way more excited about that when I heard about it, and now that it's supposed to be getting close, I feel like I just wish they would release the Pokemon games as apps for my phone. I just feel like I would play Pokemon on my phone before I would dig out a 3DS. Like, Nintendo, do this. It's a good business model. Like, I would pay the same amount of money. I would pay $30-$40, whatever it is, and I would just play it on my phone. Like, I know that's possible. We have the technology. And, like, a lot of adults don't want to, like, sit around on a 3DS because it's, like, not connected to the rest of their technology. I don't know.
I think most of the time I use the 3DS as if I'm traveling somewhere. Like,
even so, I would just rather use my phone. I would just rather all of my technology be, like, compressed. Or, like, even, I don't know. I'm at this point in my life where I just think every game should be a computer game because my PC is super high-end and, like, I don't want to go sit on the couch. And, like, I had my Xbox hooked up to my monitors for a little while, but I found that, like, because it was just a pain in the ass for me. Like, because I would get distracted. I'd want to look at something on another monitor, and then, like, that would, like, completely do weird things to the middle monitor where my Xbox was hooked up. I don't know. It's fucking weird. Whatever. So I just want every computer to be
constantly
a PC
change
game.
it.
Yeah, it was just... Well, I have two inputs. I got these monitors because they have multiple inputs, but, like... It's still, like, you can't see your mouse, right? You can, because I have 3 monitors. So I have a monitor here, and then my Xbox was in the middle, and it was, like, dragging the mouse across. I couldn't see what I was doing, and I just ended up, like, never playing my Xbox.
Well, that's lame.
But, like, if I could just play those games on PC, I would.
Yeah.
And, like, Microsoft, please, you are Microsoft. Why can't I play those on my computer?
Yeah, and it's nice to play it on the computer because you can bump the graphics all the way up, and they usually have mods and stuff for the games as well that you can add to it so that you have, I don't know, it's just cool. Like Elder Scrolls has so many mods that if you wanted to go back and play that game again, you could get an entirely different experience because you just add all those mods, you know, it looks different. And so I'm definitely PC gamer for life.
Yeah, me too. I started, I mean, my gaming experience definitely started on console, but it's like once you get a decent computer, it's like hard to convince yourself to not use your computer for things when you have the option of using your computer for things. Still playing Overwatch. It's back in beta now, and it's fun as fuck. And I'm really sorry to anybody who's not in the beta. Jeff Kaplan actually did a developer update where he apologized because he felt like the beta where it is now should be considered alpha so that so many people wouldn't be upset about not being in the beta. Because it's really early and it's a very small beta and people are just like raging and they're calling it only watch.
But, so when does that come out? Have they set a date?
They said it was going to be the end of spring, so it'll probably be like early June. So, I mean, they still got a while. They still have 3 months, you know what I mean? Like, before it's going to be anywhere near ready to launch, so we'll see. We'll see. Also, what are you doing in Final Fantasy these days?
Well, they just released a new patch. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to play any of that content because when the expansion first came out, I got my Bard all the way up to level 60, which is the cap in Final Fantasy 14. And they changed the way that the class is played. Before, it was like all instant cast stuff. And during the expansion, if you wanted to do max DPS, you had to play this specific song that turned a lot of your previous skills into cast time. So it's just, I had played the Bard for so long, I didn't like the change. So I decided that I'd start leveling up a black mage, which I know is longer cast times. Where's the logic in that? But like when you go to play a mage, you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna have cast times. It's like,
yeah, but it's not about the play style. It's about the change. Like, I get it.
So I'm still leveling that up. I have to get to 60 before I can do all that new cool stuff. I'm one level away, but I'm almost there.
You're close. You're close.
I'm so close.
I've just been playing WoW this far. Oh, I'm going to yawn.
Tell me about it,
My guild is 10 out of 13 Mythic. We just down Tyrant Balhari. We had a very stressful restructuring of guild stuff. I raid in like 2 hours, and we have 2 new tanks. 2. Out of 2. So 100% of our tanks are new. We just got like a new main healer. I've been like helping with raid leading, and like I'm derpy as fuck. That's a terrifying thought. Like I made these. I wish I could show you. I didn't import them into this though because I never think of anything ahead of time. But I made all these like graphs and pictures and like bullet points and like quick reference guides, and like I worked really hard on the ones that I've made so far. Yeah, I like feel like I have ADD, and so I made the raid guides in a way that like anybody could just quickly glance and understand and not feel like they need to read this like novel, because all the bosses that I'm making them for we've already killed. It's just that when we had this like big transition in our guild, we lost access to like our raid guides and stuff, so we had to make all new ones. And so I've been trying to help with that, and it's a lot of work, and which I knew it was a lot of work, but I'm gonna make mine publicly available when I'm done. When we use them and we kill things, like I'm not like trying to. Not that they're. I don't know. I feel like nobody, other than maybe 5 people in the entire world, nobody really comes up with new strategies. They just restructure known strategies, which is all I did. You know what I mean? Like compiled things that worked for our guild and then made these cool charts that like made it very visually easy to figure out what you're doing. So like once we've used them successfully, I'm gonna like upload them so that everybody can see them and use them. I'm not like, I don't know, I don't feel like it's secret or that it's, I don't know. But,
that's awesome.
So that's what's going on in WoW. It's just been like sort of stressful because like we're pretty far into the expansion to have like that sort of like crazy, like all these new people and stuff. But you know, hopefully it'll go well, and I'm excited because I really want to clear this tier. Like I really, really, really want to clear 13 out of 13 before the expansion, which I have plenty of time. So yeah, I just did a new video on WoW, the new expansion that's coming out, and that's doing all right. And then I put out a video today that like really upset people. It was an accident. Like I don't know, like people think I'm like faking my enthusiasm about WoW, which is very confusing to me because like why? If I wanted to make YouTube videos for the sake of profit, why would I pick World of Warcraft as the game to pretend to like?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't I pick, like, League or something that was, like, free to play and immensely popular? Like, why would I pick a game that, like, people love to shit on if I was gonna, like, fake my enthusiasm?
I don't understand why people think that. Anyways, when you did used to play League of Legends a lot, and you like did content for it, and then you stopped making content for it because you quit playing the game. Like, why would they even think that about you when they know that that's
I keep getting these comments that are like, Blizzard is paying you, and I can't fathom why they would think that, because that's not how YouTube works. Like, I'm number one. I'm, like, very open when I get sponsorships. Like, I don't hide that shit. There's no ads on sponsored videos. I outwardly say, thank you for sponsoring this video. There's a note in the info of the video. Thank you for sponsoring this video. Like, it is... I don't know what the legalities of it, but it's certainly unethical to, like, not disclose if you're being paid.
Yeah.
And, like, even though I am affiliated with Wowhead, I do not get paid to make Downtime Tuesday. Like, that's my video. That's just an agreement that we have that I use exclusively Wowhead links, and then they post their videos on my videos on Wowhead in return. Like, there's no payment. That's a handshake agreement. And any videos that I have that are critical of WoW, they choose not to post, which is fine, because I don't fucking get paid. So, like, I have every right to make those videos, and it's really odd to me that whenever I make a video that is positive on a topic that a lot of people are negative about, people think I'm, like, faking my positivity, and to what I say to that is, why don't you think that all these people hopping on the bandwagon, how are all of them being sincere? And then the one person who's speaking out and saying, that's not how I feel, how is that the person who's lying? That's very confusing to me. Because once again, if I was doing this to make money, and if I was doing this to, you know, be popular and get views, wouldn't I jump on the bandwagon and just repeat all of the same, like, circle jerk bullshit that everybody else is spewing? Because, like...
You would think, yes.
That doesn't make... Like, from a marketing standpoint, that doesn't make sense. Like, I consider my WoW videos my primary content on my channel, and I make the least money on those. Like, like, I only make ad revenue, and ad revenue works out to, like, I don't know, maybe, like, $3 per 1,000 monetized views, which means it's more like $3 per 4,000 views, because so many people use ad block, or like ads just don't show up, and there's like competition and stuff like that. Like, ad revenue is a joke. I could never, ever, even like hugely successful YouTubers are not making their money on ad revenue.
Yeah.
Like, for a video that say gets 40,000 views, you might make $30 on that video, but getting a 40,000 view video sponsored, you could easily make like $1,000. So, like, yeah, like, I'm not, any videos that I like say like this is sponsored, those are the videos that make it possible for me to make the WoW videos, because I don't make money on those.
Yeah.
So it's like very confusing to me when people are like, oh, you're just saying this to make money, because I don't make any fucking money off of WoW videos.
I just don't understand how YouTube works. Like, people think that YouTubers make all of this crazy money, and sure, there are some YouTubers that make ridiculous amounts of money, but
not from ad revenue. Even people like PewDiePie and Jenna Marbles, like, they're making 75% plus of their money off of merchandise, sponsorships, commissions. You just don't make any money, like, in the grand scheme of what you would need. Like, the amount of views you would need to just live off of views, you're talking probably like 10 million views a month. I think you'd probably need about 10 million views a month. I get between like 500,000 and 1.5 million, and it fluctuates a lot because it depends on what kind of content I put out. And then it's very confusing to me what content takes off and what doesn't, because YouTube, the algorithm is so fucking broken these days that I feel like I just don't understand why some videos get views and some don't. Like, I am just at a complete loss.
It makes no sense.
There are videos that, like, I would, like, okay, one day I was super lazy and didn't feel like showering. This is a real story. I didn't want to put on real pants. I didn't want to get my hair wet and have to dry it. I didn't want to put makeup on. I just didn't want to do any of those things that really are required to make a video. So instead, I got on the Alpha and filmed Dalaran. Then I put that video up in my second monitor and followed along on the live servers, the exact same path in Dalaran, did a picture-in-picture and uploaded it. Because I was lazy. It took me all of 20 minutes. No, alright, maybe 45 minutes. But, like, literally one of the laziest videos I've ever made, Kotaku featured it. It has 250,000 views.
Wow.
I spent 80 hours. 80 hours. That's 2 full work weeks on my History of Blizzard Entertainment. Ouch, I just pulled my ear. On my History of Blizzard Entertainment video, 20,000 views.
Oh, no.
It's like one of the highest quality production videos I've ever made in my life. Like, it's super high quality. It's, like, scripted out. I have all these super high-def clips. Worked so hard on this video to get, like, no views. And then this other video that I spent, like, 45 minutes because I didn't fucking feel like showering gets 250,000 views in, like, 2 days. I have no idea.
That is absolutely crazy.
I have no idea. Like, people ask me, like, how do you get views on YouTube? I clearly don't fucking know. Like, I clearly don't fucking know.
You got another sub, boo.
Oh, thanks for subbing. Thanks for subbing.
John.
I appreciate it. So yeah, as far as like IRL type stuff, I'm bringing Tykus to training classes. He goes to his first class on Monday. I'm hoping I can get him groomed before then because he's smelly and looks homeless.
So you said that you don't think he'll be the worst in the class?
No, so I felt really good about this trainer because I chose not to go to an environment like PetSmart or one of those environments because they for all you know, your trainer could be 6 months on the job, and like they'd have like a 6-week training course to train their trainers, and that's it. And I'm not saying there aren't great trainers at PetSmart because I'm sure there are, but like I really wanted to make sure that I was signing up to train with a specific trainer, with a behaviorist, with someone who really understood. So I found this guy in my area who's been training dogs for 30 years. He does like canine good citizenship tests. He does competitive obedience. He does competitive agility. And he also, one of the things that really drew me to him as a trainer was that he trains problem dogs, which Tykus isn't really a problem dog, but like I did have another dog that I had to rehome because Tykus and him fought. They never like really hurt each other, but like that's why I had to rehome them, because I was afraid someone would really get hurt. And to me, that says if he's willing to work with those dogs, that he's not going to be intimidated by a case like Tykus. And one of the things I really liked about him is that, like, while all of his training techniques are 100% positive, he does teach you ways to properly, positively correct your dog so that you're not hurting them in any way. You're not hitting them. You're not being corporal. You're not yelling at them. But, like, how to appropriately stop a bad behavior. Because, like, if you go to someone like PetSmart, they're just going to tell you to ignore bad behavior or redirect bad behavior. But, like, there are times when, like, if your dog is running into traffic, it doesn't matter if you have a hot dog and you call him a good dog. Like, you need to know that he's going to stop and come back to you when you call him. And, like, that's why he teaches you, like, kind of like a, like, that sort of, like, method of, like, actually your dog respecting you and, like, knowing that you're the leader. But it's not about, like, dominance. I don't know. He seemed really, really smart. And, like, he laid a bunch of ground rules down, which I appreciated because, like, we had, like, orientation where everybody goes and they don't bring their dogs. And, like, he said straight out, like, if you think it's okay to, like, hit your dogs, leave my class right now. And, like, you need to rehome your dog because you're a terrible owner. If you think it's okay to, like, scream at your dogs and intimidate your dogs, that's not okay. Like, I don't know. He was very much, like, his whole training method is about, like, building a dog and human relationship so that that dog trusts and respects you and wants to do the right things. When you, like, teach them to do things, they want to do them. It's not about food and it's not about anything else but, like, making your dog be a good dog because they want to be a good dog. So I think Tykus is going to do really well. The only thing I'm really concerned about is going to be, like, the first couple weeks because Tykus is kind of reactive right now. So, like, he's either going to go in and see all these other dogs and, like, freak out, like, barking, woofing, growling, the whole 9 yards. Or, alternatively, he's going to go in and see all the other dogs and, like, pee on me.
Aw, he's going to be afraid. Which one do you think it'll be?
I don't know. I'm hoping maybe he'll just be overwhelmed and not do either of those things.
Just not do either.
But I don't know. We'll see. I hope he does well. I really, really hope he does well, but we'll see.
I think it'll be good for him.
We'll see. Did you find out the gender of your baby?
It's a girl.
I mean, you just said that.
Yeah, it's a little girl. Joel's going to be choosing the name for this one, so the baby will probably have a name.
I don't even remember. Did I predict it was a girl?
You predicted it would be a boy, actually.
I'm not surprised that you're having two girls, though.
I'm happy because I have
girl
stuff already. Yeah. I mean, I always wanted both, so I'm a little disappointed that because I'm never going to be pregnant again.
Are you done? Are you getting spayed?
I'm done. I am absolutely done with this. This pregnancy was so much harder than Abigail. So I am over being pregnant, never going to be pregnant again. I mean, if I happen to somehow get pregnant in the future, if it's an accident, I'm not going to get rid of the baby.
It's very easy to not get pregnant.
Yes, this is true. I'm just saying if it's like the 1% chance that I do.
Like, even if you get an IUD, like when they say it's 99.99999, those people in that crazy 0.001 had like an obscene complication. Like, it's not like.
Oh.
It's the same thing with people on birth control pills, and there's always that 1.1% chance. That's people taking them improperly. That's not. The pill just magically not working. That's just not the way science works.
Magic.
That's not the way science works.
I only plan to have two. If an accident occurs and I happen to somehow get pregnant again, I would keep the baby, but I only plan on having two because pregnancy.
I hear Nick pulling out if you see me. I hear him in the driveway. You getting food?
Delicious food.
Oh my god, the last text I sent him is, call Tykus, he's ruining my life. That's not dramatic. How's the lead removal going?
Actually, we got our tax return, and it's just completely gone now. Like, we have to hire everybody to come and do the work, but we were able to put our tax return along with everybody's generous donation because, oh my gosh, it was so expensive, girl. We priced it. It was like $10,000.
Yeah.
And with the help
Is that re-siding your house too?
Yes. And so
oh my god, your house is gonna look so nice.
It's gonna look so
Do you understand how much value you're putting into your house right now, though? Like, if you want to sell your house, like, just fresh siding adds, like, 10 grand to the price of a house because it looks nice. It has curb appeal. Just saying. Well, you're going to make your money back on this.
Gonna go on the cheapest possible thing.
It doesn't matter. You have, like, painted wood slat siding right now. Like, just vinyls, any vinyl siding it increases the value of your home because it's more energy efficient, it's easier to maintain, and it's obviously new and up to code.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I know a lot about this. But the fact that you'll have all this documentation that you had this lead removed and that the house is lead free, just that in and of itself, and then like the curb appeal that new siding is going to add, that'll add the $10,000 you're putting in will make you 15 or 20 on the cost of the house, like when you sell it, for sure.
Well, I couldn't believe it because $10,000. I mean, that would have taken me so incredibly long to even save up, and so the only way I was able to get it done was because everybody was so incredibly generous in my streams and helped me reach about like I think it was like around 6,000, and then my tax return was able to just completely get rid of the goal, so it's finally gone.
I'm so happy for you. I know that was like such a big stress for you. Now, what's going on with TwitchCon? You're going to TwitchCon?
Well, that's what I'm working towards right now. Are you gonna go to TwitchCon, or are you not really interested in?
I mean, I don't really stream. I just feel like I'd be a poser. I mean, I'm streaming right now, so it's ironic that I would say that. But, like, I'm not, like, a full-time streamer. I've never considered being a full-time streamer. Mm-hmm. So it feels like the only way I would go is if they had something for St. Jude. Like, if St. Jude had people go out to support Play Live, I would go. But, like, for my own personal networking.
Do you still do the streams with, I forget her name. I feel terrible.
Well, whoever it is, no.
The WoW.
Oh, Stacy? Oh, yeah, I do. I don't know. I guess if Wowhead went, I would probably go. Tykus? That is not good behavior.
Oh, she gonna get him.
No, it's I don't have time to deal with him, so I'm gonna give him a treat. I'm gonna reward his bad behavior because he needs to go the fuck away. Sit. Good boy.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about going. I'm gonna see if I can or not. ChiibCon. It'd be like one person there.
I'd be there.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess if Wowhead did something at TwitchCon, I would go. But like other than that, probably not. Like Wowhead or St. Jude. But like I don't know. I don't consider like part of my brand Twitch. I don't even go to like Playlist Live or anything like that because like my audience is not. Like, I know the demographic of my audience. They're not going to be at Playlist Live. They're not going to be at something like that. Like, that's a young like kid kind of thing. Even, like TwitchCon, most of the people who go to TwitchCon are young. Like, most of the people who go are, like, under 25. And, like, the majority of my audience is, like, 25 to 35. Like, they're at BlizzCon. But for the most part, it's not my demographic, so it's not, like, a good expenditure. There's no return on investment there.
She gets stopped like every 5 seconds at BlizzCon.
Not this year. This year was kind of nice because I had just gotten LASIK, so people didn't really recognize me without my glasses.
Oh, really?
Like by next year, they'll be used to seeing me without glasses, so it'll be fine. But like, you also have to think that when you get stopped at a convention, it's not often like your hardcore fans. Like it's people who just, oh, aren't you that girl from that thing? You know what I mean? It's not. So, like, I don't know. And I feel like the year that you were at BlizzCon with me, not last year, but the year before, that was the year that I went on King of the Nerds. That was a fucking crazy year for me. That's not, like, what my general life is like. Yeah, I went to Florida SuperCon one year. That was an adventure. That was an adventure. So, what else is going on in my life, you ask? Leroy is down to 1/4 of his dose of medications. So that's really
awesome.
exciting. Yeah, he's doing really good. I mean, I don't want to be like overly optimistic, but he's doing really good. So right now he went from being on 2 pills a day, and now he's only on 1 pill every other day. And the vet said if he does good on this, that they're going to try to wean him down to half every other day.
That is awesome.
And if he goes down to a half every other day, it's likely that there's no symptoms even being treated at that point. So, I mean, he's been on medication, though, for almost 6 months. So, I mean, it's possible that it wasn't chronic, that it was just something that he got better. I don't know. We have no idea. Super confusing.
How old is he now?
7?
Oh.
Yeah, he's not old. That's not old for a cat at all. Like, one of my cats is 18. Yeah. Fucking
Ninja, right?
Yeah. He old. And then, okay, so I had the most productive weekend ever. I feel like I moved into my house this weekend. The house I've lived in for a year. We had an electrician come last week and install new light fixtures in, like, most of the rooms. Which a lot of people told me that was wasteful. And I understand that Nick could have done it, but Nick works fucking 50 hours a week and has to commute. And, like, I don't want him to spend his days off, like, installing 25 light fixtures. Like, I'd rather hire an electrician. I'm sorry. So we hired an electrician to come and, like, deal with some electrical issues we were having and also install a bunch of new light fixtures, which was, like, life-changing. We rearranged our bedroom and, like, got some new furniture for our bedroom. Then we got new lights for the living room. Not lighting fixtures. There's no overhead lighting in that room. So we got, like, new lights, but they're, like, adult lights. They're not, like, shitty Walmart $20 lamps that you'd put in a dorm room. We went to, like, Lowe's and got the really nice, like, pillar stand lights. They were kind of expensive, but I really like them. And we got new lights for the guest bedroom, and we put up a bunch of shelving in Nick's office and unpacked a bunch of his stuff, if you can believe that. So it's really crazy because I feel like in the last, like, week I've done more moving into my house than I did the entire year I've lived here.
That's awesome,
so,
Boo.
Yeah. So, want to do Twitter questions?
Yeah, let's do
So, Pokemon Girl 34 asked, what's your favorite cereal?
Right now, mine is like there's this Raisin brand that has like little yogurt pieces and stuff inside. I know that sounds weird, but it's so delicious.
That sounds good. I don't really like raisins, but I tend to like Raisin Bran. Like, Raisin Bran had a crunch variety for a while. Raisin Bran Crunch. Did you ever have that?
Oh, yes.
So, like, if you could just remove the raisins from Raisin Bran Crunch, like, that would have been my favorite cereal. But I would say currently my favorite cereal is Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds.
Oh, my gosh. I like Honey Bunches of Oats with the strawberry pieces. It's so good.
I like it with the almonds because I really don't like soggy cereal. And Honey Bunches of Oats tends to get soggy quicker because the flakes are really thin. So the almonds add, like, every bite is crunchy because of the almonds. So I really like that. AJ9 Lives asked, which do you see as a happier household? A house full of dogs or a house full of cats?
A household of dogs. I know you're going to disagree with me.
Really?
Yes.
Give me your logic here. Because as someone who's
love...
had a lot of dogs.
Yes. I love cats and dogs. You know this. I have 3 cats and 2 dogs. But it's just, I'm not sure if it's because all of my cats are older. Like, they're all the same age. They're all 13. So they're all kind of in their, like, asshole leave me alone stage where they just want to sleep all day.
Yeah,
and they don't want to give me any love and affection. And I have my dogs who are all about me, you know. Like,
yeah, but that's not a house full. That's 2. We're talking in a theoretical situation where you'd have, say, 15. I would totally
have more dogs.
Do you know what living with 15 dogs would be like?
I would.
That's a pack. Right? There would be fights.
Having a pack of dogs.
Bad fights.
I'd be okay with it.
It's not safe to have 15 dogs if you aren't, like, some sort of trainer or behaviorist.
I've never had a dog that's had a problem with another dog.
How many dogs have you had, though, at once?
At once, I've had 3.
That's not that many.
So I guess technically it's not a large amount of dogs together.
No, like, I have a friend who has 14 dogs, and her house has to be run like a fucking military encampment. Like, she can't just have all of her dogs out at once. Because, like, if 2 cats don't get along, it's really not that big of a deal. They'll swat each other and they'll go in other rooms. But if 2 dogs don't get along, like, they'll kill each other.
There just has to be an order to your pack.
But I just feel like any more than like
exercise and order, I think, is how you're
gonna exercise 14 dogs.
The only way I would have 14 dogs is if I had a lot of land.
This is a theoretical situation.
If I had this is totally theoretical. I would not have more than 2 dogs in the house that I currently live. But if I had farmland, if I had acres, I would totally have more dogs. And you can take them out on walks, or you could play with them so much with so much land.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been around very large groups of dogs, but I've had cats. It's not even like a personal, it's not even like if I was talking about like what type of like household would be happier and more peaceful, I just feel like it would be the household with cats, because cats don't need the individual attention that dogs do. Like I don't feel like one person can truly provide what 14 dogs or 15 dogs would need. You'd need a very special person that did like obedience and shit like that in order for that to work at all, because otherwise you'd have
the dog whisperer.
No, not like the dog whisperer, because he is abusive, but I don't know, I'm just saying, like, it just makes me very, like, the idea of that many dogs, like, all you'd need is one thing to go wrong, and, like, it could be awful. You'd have to be, like, the most responsible pet owner in the entire world to have that many dogs, whereas, like, I don't know, you get a bunch of cats, and, like, as long as you're getting them their shots and shit, like, they're fine. I just feel like it'd be so much...
Even if cats do get in fights, it's not like they're gonna murder each other.
Very rarely are cats fighting to the point of hurting each other. Like, I feel like that's part of the reason you hear about people all the time having 5, 6, 7, 8 cats, because if cats don't like each other, they just avoid each other, and then every once in a while when they walk past each other, they boop each other in the head, and then it's over. Like, very rarely are cats, like, hurting each other and being aggressive in that way. Not saying it doesn't happen, but, like, it doesn't happen as often. But, like... The idea of a lot of dogs makes me nervous. But if you're talking about 2 or 3, like, I think 2 or 3 dogs might give someone more joy than 2 or 3 cats, unless that person was me.
I don't think...
But if we're talking about a house full, I think that's 10 plus, and I think 10 plus dogs sounds terrifying.
I don't know. I don't think I'd ever have 10 plus of anything. So, like, I just couldn't imagine even having...
Like, I have 5 cats, and it's not hard. Like, nothing... Like, the hardest thing is when somebody gets, like, sick. You know, like, when Leroy got sick and, like, isolating one of them while still making sure the rest get enough attention. Like, that's hard. But, like, I don't know. Like, when I worked at the Humane Society, I did dog behavior. And, like, dogs are so complex with their relationships and, like... The idea of dog parks is, like, horrifying to me. Like, I would never bring my dogs to a dog park. Like, you just don't know if that dog is, like, vaccinated or if they have any sort of, like, reactivity or triggers to other dogs. Like, I
guess it's because I've always had just really good dogs. Like, I don't know if it's how I raised them or what, but I've taken both Duncan and Lulu to dog parks before, and I agree, like... You don't know what those people do with their dogs. Like, I'll never forget this situation. It terrified the crap out of me. But there was I think it was a Pitbull and a boxer. They were starting to really growl at each other, and they were going to start fighting. And my dog, Duncan, just ran and, like, jumped in the middle of both of them and, like, kind of broke them apart. And then they all just started playing with each other. And I'm like, first of all, don't ever do that again. You could have been murdered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's another thing with dogs is I feel like it's really hard to tell. Like, sometimes it'll look like they're about to fight, but that's just them, like, playing and like
no, they were being very aggressive.
I don't know, like I worked at an animal shelter and like I feel like dogs can play really, really, really rough and there's never a chance of a fight breaking out because like I don't think they would have played with each other if they really were gonna like fight. Breaking up dog fights is really hard. Like you have to like know what you're doing or else you're gonna get mangled. Which by the way, pro tip, if you ever have to break up a dog fight, grab the dog that is the aggressor by its back legs and turn. Like, swing them by their back legs. They'll get all discombobulated. They'll let go. And most dogs are not at the point that they're disengaged from the other dogs. Most dogs won't bite you at that point. Unless they're, like, crazy. In which case, RIP you. R.I.P.U. I'm sorry that Duncan almost got murdered by a boxer.
Oh no, he didn't almost get. He totally broke it up. He's all of my dogs are just very happy, friendly. It's probably a bad thing because if I do happen to take them to the dog park one day and one dog does take a step too far, like they just don't realize they've never had that type of behavior before. You know what I mean? Like they've never been in fights. So they're always like, come on, let's play. Let's do this. Let's do that. And the other dogs will just attack them, I guess. I don't know. My dogs are just really good dogs.
I mean, dog parks make me nervous not because of the dogs, but because of the owners. Like, because if something does happen, are you in a situation where somebody actually knows what to do? Like, I don't know. It just makes me super nervous. I think part of it is that I have a pit. So, like, even though Violet is, I mean, and literally anybody who's met Violet or even, like, seen Violet knows Violet is not doing shit to anybody. Like, she's the best dog ever. Tykus, I would bet millions of dollars that Tykus would attack another person, dog, cat. Tykus would definitely attack something before Violet would.
All of the things.
But, like, if something ever happened and I brought Violet to a dog park, like, it would be her fault because she's a pit. So, like, it would automatically be her fault no matter what happened.
They get such a bad rap. Like, it's so terrible.
The problem is shitbag owners. It's not. And that's why dog parks make me nervous because, like, I don't know. Like, it's very easy to have a dog, like, that's not stable. Like, whether that's because of poor breeding and bad genetics or whether that's because of, you know, bad socialization or maybe they had some sort of traumatic event happen. Like, dogs can get fucked up really, really easy. So, like, it just makes me so nervous that, like, people don't really know their dogs and people don't take the steps if something happened. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the sweetest dog you've seen. I'm like, wait, who are you? Have you met my dog? I don't know. I just feel like, and I feel like you could just, like, so many bad things happen when people don't understand their dogs. Like, it's not that I ever blame the dog. Like, I heard a story recently about, of course, the headline was, like, Pitbull mauls child to death. But, like, why was your 2-year-old in a room with the door shut with a dog that was an unneutered male in his food bowl, which was full? Why?
Wow.
Why? Why was that? Because the thing is, like, it does not take, like, to be like, oh, toddler mauled to death. A toddler could get bit once in the right place and die. Like,
I can't even think about that.
I'm
that
sorry.
Like, makes me want to cry.
Super sorry.
Like,
yeah.
Who puts their kid in a room?
But that's what I'm saying, and everybody blamed the dog. It was like, oh, this vicious, vicious fucking dog. But, like, in the reality of that situation, all that kid had to do is reach for the food. They're not going to have the reflex to pull away if the dog lunges them. And a child, like a toddler, could die from getting bit in the arm. They don't have to be mauled. Like, that's a headline grabbing thing. Like, any dog in that situation that's not a safe situation. It doesn't matter if you have the nicest dog in the entire world. Like, I do not like, Violet has zero food aggression whatsoever. Like she's fine. And I still don't let anyone, like, I don't feed her in the room with people because why would you fucking do that? Why would you set yourself up for that situation? It doesn't matter how great your dog is. You're not a dog. You can't speak dog. Like, the reason that pit bulls get a bad rap is because pit bulls are the easiest dog to obtain. Go to Craigslist right now and tell me how many pit bulls are free to a good home.
Yeah.
Why do you think pit bulls are in the worst situations possible? Because they're fucking bred by shitlords. They're owned by shitlords, and then they're given away, dumped in shelters, abused. I get really heated when I talk about pit bulls because I also, like, alternatively, I also hate people that advocate how wonderful pit bulls are. Like, like, it doesn't matter what breed a dog is. Like, every dog's personality is different. There's just more pit bulls than there are more pit bulls than any other breed of dog in America. That is an actual statistic. Because so many dogs are, like, mixed with pit bull or they're pit bull type dogs. Like, there are more, like, pit bulls than any other one breed of dog in America. So, of course, they're going to be associated with more bad things. If there were more Rottweilers or more German Shepherds or more Labs or more fucking Chihuahuas, it wouldn't matter. Like, anytime you have a majority group like that, that majority group is going to be responsible for the majority of whatever bad things happen because that's how statistics work. Which is why America has a problem with institutionalized racism because those statistics don't match up properly and there's clearly a problem there. And, like, we need to get to the root of the problem so that we can solve it. But nobody wants to talk about that because you're getting into political stuff, but it's not political. It's human rights. And, like, now I'm on a totally different topic. The next question is, would you rather be itchy for the rest of your life or sticky for the rest of your life?
Oh, I already answered this. Itchy.
Oh, you did?
Could you imagine being sticky and just having everything stick to you? Every little... Ugh.
I'd rather be sticky.
Really?
I'd rather be No, as someone with fucking severe-ass eczema that's allergic to goddamn everything, I would be sticky right now if I could give up skin allergies.
I couldn't do it. You'd have everything. Nobody would. Imagine if somebody invited you over to their house. They'd be like, don't sit on anything. Just stand there because I don't want your stickiness to get all over my stuff.
No, because the way I feel is that you wouldn't be letting stick off of you. You're not like a slug with a slug trail. You're just sticky enough to feel like I need to wash my hands. Like, you're not at the point of sticky where you're like... dripping sticky goo. So I don't know, like I feel like as someone who constantly is itchy now, like, it's awful. Like, I am allergic to fucking everything. You have no idea. Do you remember when I got this tattoo and I was allergic to that?
Yeah, that was terrible.
I thought I had fucking scabies. It was awful. My tattoo was raised up a ½ inch off my arm. I still have, like, scarring from that whole situation. I'm allergic to most deodorants. I'm allergic to most soaps. I'm allergic to most lotions. Fucking perfume, hairspray. It's ridiculous. I'm always getting hives and rashes, and I can't deal. Like, no, I'll take sticky for 10,000, Alec. Okay, so if you guys want us to answer some silly questions like this, you can submit them via Twitter using the hashtag Derpcast Q&A. That's the letter N, Q&A. Now to finish off today's episode, I have a bunch of would you rathers that I picked out that are all like varying degrees of completely ridiculous. So, would you rather be 10% more attractive or have 10% additional money for the rest of your life?
I would rather go for the money.
I would go for the money too. And I don't know what degree of shallow that makes me because, like, you're
I think
obviously...
it's shallow to do either or. Like...
Right? But I'll take the money, thanks.
I'll take the money, thanks.
It just seems more useful. Like, I feel like, yeah, it just seems more useful. Would you rather add 4 hours to every single day or add 1 full day to every single week?
Okay, so you could either have 8-day weeks.
Yep.
Or
28-hour days.
I'd rather just have the 8 days a week.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm exhausted all the time. I'd rather have an extra day in the week opposed to having to stay up and do things for longer, I guess. Because it doesn't. But this wouldn't
affect your. Yeah, it would, because you have more time to sleep. It doesn't affect your work schedule. You would still only work, say, 8 hours a day. You would just have 4 extra hours when you got home every day. So if you're choosing an extra day, theoretically, it's still a work day. You're not getting an extra weekend day.
You don't think that they would extend the work hours based off of more time in the day?
Well, I'm not saying. Okay. Shifts. No. Okay. So in this hypothetical situation, there is those 4 hours are at night, so you can either stay up later, get up earlier, or sleep longer.
Well, then if they're at night, then I would choose that so I could sleep longer.
Okay. I would also choose the 4 hours a day for several reasons. One, that adds up to more hours. 4 times 7 is 28, so you would get 28 extra hours as opposed to 24 extra hours. So you're just gaining more time all the time. Plus, my life schedule is on a fucking 28-hour day. It's a problem. That's why I'm constantly sleeping. I get up anywhere between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. depending on when I went to bed the last night because, like, I'm not on a 24-hour day. Like, most people are awake for 16, 17 hours a day. I'm awake for, like, 20 hours a day. And then that just takes 4 hours away from my next day, which takes 4 hours. And it's just a continuing cycle of fucked. So, like, I feel like I would function better on a 28-hour day.
I think you would too, Boo. You're just so busy all the time.
I know.
That's why.
Well, that's why I would like the extra hours in the day as opposed to an extra day a week, because that would just be another day of work. But if I had more hours in the day, I wouldn't feel so stressed to get so much done every day, because I would have more time every day to get things done and then to relax.
Yeah.
So I would appreciate the 4 extra hours a day. But I could see the argument for an extra day a week, too. I really could. It would really just depend on your life situation and, like, what you did with your life. Because for some people, that might... Like, if you were a nurse, say, like, nurses work crazy, like, 16 hours on for 3 days, and then they have 4 days off. In that situation, you would just get an extra day off.
Or an extra day you'd have to work. Right?
No, because we talked about this. Work schedules don't change. Okay. Either way, for the extra day or for the extra hours in the day. I don't know. Would you rather... I'm sorry, this is the worst would you rather ever, and I'm sorry for everybody that has to, like, hear this. Would you rather have your eyes make tiny, quiet fart noises every time you blink, or have your farts make screaming, loud, random animal noises every time you fart?
Well, how quiet are we talking
like,
about
only
here?
You can hear it. Like, just a tiny little poot.
Only I can hear it.
Like, maybe if someone was very, very close to you, they could hear it. But, I mean, we're talking, like, a super quiet. Like, it would not be something that would disturb anybody. Like, most people, if they heard it, they wouldn't even correlate it to your eyes. They wouldn't know. They just
I think that'd be really annoying. Because imagine how often you blink.
Yeah, you blink a lot.
I just go with the loud farts.
But they sound like animal noises. So,
I don't
like,
even care.
There's no silent but deadly farts in your life anymore. Like, if you fart, it's like a lion roaring. Roar! Or,
totally
like, maybe it's a barnyard animal, so you fart and it's like, moo!
Oh, so it could be different every time.
Oh, it is different every time. It is different every time. So if you have, like, one of those, like, vibrato farts, it's probably a dog barking a lot.
Maybe it's more fun and exciting when, you know, there's random loud animal noises.
Oh my god, it would be the greatest thing ever. It would be the greatest thing ever. It would confuse people and then they would get gassed out. Like, there's nothing better than the idea of, like, farting actual quacks. Or farting a dog woof. Like, that would be the greatest moment of my life. Whereas, like you said, I feel like it'd be constantly annoying because if only you could hear it, or if it was that quiet, it'd be like Chinese water blink torture. It'd be terrible.
Ugh, I cannot stand that.
Ooh, I think you'll like this one. Would you rather have the potential to live up to 1,000 years old? You get to choose an age where you stop aging, but everything else is normal, meaning that you could get sick or you could get injured. But if you were to die of old age, you could theoretically live up to 1,000. Okay. Or would you rather live to only be 100? You're immune to injury or illness, and you get a superpower of your choice. But you're guaranteed to die at 100.
I would live to 100.
Me too! I thought that was a good question, though, because it's almost like vampire-y. You know what I mean? Like, you could live... Your old age isn't until 1,000, so if you took really good care of yourself, you could theoretically live to be 1,000. But, like, you're immune to illness, injury, and you get a fucking superpower?
Be awesome.
Right?
You could be a superhero and help so many people.
Someone asked at what age does it start? In the 1,000-year-old example, you get to choose the age which you stop aging. I would have chosen probably about 21. I looked great when I was 21. Things were going downhill rapidly, trust. But I would definitely choose the 100. And what would be your superpower?
That's a difficult question because there's so many good superpowers out there. Like, how do you choose? Maybe
I would want to be able to teleport. I would want to be able to teleport.
Teleport?
Yeah, like be able to like just close my eyes and choose where I want to go and then open my eyes and I'm there.
That would be cool.
That would be the best superpower. I would also want to be able to bring someone with me, like if I touched them. Ooh. Or like send someone somewhere if I touched them.
I don't know. Maybe I'd want to fly. You could do so many things if you could fly.
I feel like if you were a teleporter, you could just go wherever you wanted to go, but you wouldn't have to worry about, like, government experiments because you could just, like, teleport away if they caught you. But, like, if you were flying, you'd be on someone's radar and they'd want to experiment on you. Unless that we're immune from that in this scenario.
Technically, I guess you could kind of fly using teleportation as well. You can imagine yourself up in the sky and then away from the sky before you hit the ground.
I like the idea of flying is fun, though. I just don't know that it would be as useful. I think going invisible would be really useful, too. Shut up, Tykus. All right, this is the last question. I think this is the hardest question. Would you rather have received $5 million when you were 25 or wait until you're 50 to receive $50 million?
I would go with the 5 million at 25 because I don't spend like I have I mean, I don't even really go out of my house very often. I don't go out to eat. I don't usually go see movies. Like, I'm a hermit and I enjoy that. Like, I just don't spend a lot of money. So I could never see myself spending more than $5 million in my entire life. Like, I would not live a crazy, extravagant life. So
I would 100% take the 50 million at 50.
Really?
100 fucking percent. Like, no doubt in my mind I would take the 50 million at 50. I feel like I'm much more scared of the idea of, like, retiring and not having enough money because, like, our retirement fund is, like, all tied up in the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, Tykus. So, like, if something goes wrong with the stock market, we lost all of our money and we're not going to get the return on investment, and, like, then what do you do? But, like, I could work until I was 50. Like, that's fine. That's not very old at all. Like, I think 50 is still pretty young in the grand scheme of things. And then you can literally live extravagantly and do whatever you want. In your retirement years, your golden years would be the best ones of your entire life. Yeah. And by the time that you were 50, you would, like, appreciate that money so much more because you will have lived a normal life until then.
You would have worked hard.
You would have worked hard, and, like, you get to retire a lot earlier than people, but you'd still be, like, I don't know. I would definitely pick 50 million at 50. And
that shark is eating your cat right now.
I know.
Oh, nom, nom, nom.
She's so cute, isn't she?
That's the cutest thing ever. Head poking out in the background.
Someone said you'd end up dying at 49. I mean, I guess, but, like, I feel like there's a lot of psychology of the anticipation of things being marginally as exciting as the actual thing itself. So I feel like you would go through life feeling this whole sense of security because you'd know, like, it would work out eventually. And, like, if you died before then, you would still have lived your whole life feeling a sense of security and stability. So, like, I don't think it would really matter if you died at 49 because, like, your quality of life would not have been lesser because I don't think that money impacts happiness. Like, personally, it's just not, like, how I feel about a situation. Like, I've been super, super broke. I've been financially stable. And, like, my happiness is not determined by money. But shut up. I'm going to murder you, quarter you, and sell you to a restaurant that serves fine delicacy of Shih Tzu. Do you want that? Sweet and sour sauce. That's what we dip you in. We cube you up and fry you. Do you want that? They don't speak English. And the cat's like, yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. So yeah, I would pick the more money at retirement age because plus then if you did live a life where you had kids and stuff, like, think of all the things you'd be able to provide for your children and what you'd be able to leave behind for your children. I'm not saying I have kids, but maybe if I knew I was going to get $50 million at age 50, that would change my mind about having children. Because if I didn't have kids until, say, I was like 35, they'd be like just almost at college age. Once I got that money, they'd be able to go to any school they wanted. They'd be able to, I could buy them houses and pay for their weddings and, like, so I feel like I still feel like the idea of the sense of stability would feel better for me than having, cause I know I'd blow, like, I think it's adorable that you're, like, perfectly capable of, like, living off $5 million. I am not that. They'd be gone. I could not, like, I know in theory I could live off of $5 million, but like I do not have the self-control. Like I'd be buying, if I got $5 million, I'd be like, Chiib, you want $1 million? Like, okay, there's 20% of my money gone, like just gone. Like there's no way I would have that money for any length of time. Like there's no way. And part of that is because I don't really value money in that way, which is funny because I actually have a lot of money in savings, but that's because I have like this fear for the future. But I don't feel like at 25 I could have responsibly used $5 million. Like, yeah, not at 25 year old. I mean, and I know that was only 2 years ago, but man, 2 years changed a lot.
You changed a lot with it, yeah.
I feel like you've watched me change a lot. You're still the same nice person.
Aw, but you're so sweet.
I love you. I love you. Sorry I told you a pack of dogs was a bad idea. I'm sure your dogs would be wonderful.
No, I couldn't have 14 dogs. There's no way. I could not have 14 dogs. But four I think I could handle.
Yeah, you could probably
do
that,
4. Probably not.
And there would be a lot of factors, too, because if you had all of them at a fairly young, sociable age, or if you only added one at a time, like if you had 2 and then you got a 3rd and then you waited a couple of years and got a 4th, like that's how you have to integrate it. Like, I'm sorry that I got defensive about that. I'm sure you could handle a pack of dogs.
I knew you would choose cats.
I feel like working at a shelter kind of ruined me as far as like, I feel just like, I just get really scared when I hear about like somebody having a lot of dogs because I'm just like, please don't let anything go wrong because those situations go, like we got in dogs so much that like came from homes with like 10 dogs, 12 dogs, unneutered, having more dogs. Like it's just,
it frustrates me when somebody gets a dog and they don't know what responsibility that they're taking on. Yeah. Because they're very complex. Like they're like,
well, and then if you have a situation like Tykus, like, okay, so Stanley was a rescue. I did, like, 3 levels of obedience with him. Like, I worked really hard to make him a good dog. Violet was a rescue who just was automatically the sweetest dog of all time. And despite her situation, no long-term issues at all. Great dog. Like, best dog ever. I would clone Violet. Like, she's amazing. Mm-hmm. She's the best dog ever. And then Tykus, we thought, like, oh, we're getting him as a puppy. He's going to be so great. Tykus's parents, I think, both had some mental issues because Tykus is the most, he's not right. Like, I know that sounds, like, really mean to say, but Tykus is, like, not, he's not, like, he needs so much more than my other 2 dogs needed. And, like, I got him impulsively, which is, please don't ever get, like, you can get a cat impulsively and it's probably going to be okay. But, like, getting a dog impulsively, not a good idea, especially if it's a little dog, because little dogs, they take a year and a half to housebreak. That is not an exaggeration. It is terrible. It is really, really bad. I had never had a little dog before, so, like, little dog psychology, like, I would take a Pitbull over a little dog any day. Like, they're so much easier to train. Hyper. They're so much easier to, like, Tykus has a lot of issues that I really think came from very bad breeding. Like, I bet both of his parents needed to be on doggy Prozac. Mm-hmm. Like, there's just no way he had 2 stable parents and came out the way he did. And, I mean, we've worked really hard with him. We've worked very, very hard with him, and he's come very, very far. But, like, he still has a long ways to go. And, like, it's really odd how he was the one that started all the issues with my other dog, like 100%. Definitely Tykus started it, but like he's now showing signs of like trauma, or has been since it happened, even though he was the one that instigated all of those things that happened. So like now we, like, despite the fact that when he was a puppy, he went to work with me every day, he was around a lot of other dogs, like he was around you know, a lot of different people. He rode in the car every day. Now all of a sudden he's afraid of the car. He's afraid of people. He's afraid of other dogs. Like, he literally, a switch flipped in his brain, and now he's afraid of everything. Like, despite us doing the right things and socializing him properly, and like, he didn't go to obedience as a puppy, but like, it's not like we didn't train him. It's not like he was just left alone. Like, I worked from home, or I took him to work with me when I worked at the game store. Like, we were textbook good pet owners, and like, he is a like special needs dog. Like, he just needs a lot more. So now, like I said, we're taking him to this like trainer that's got 30 years of experience, not to teach him how to sit and shake and roll over, but to teach us really how to deal with his behavior, because he's obsessive and he has no impulse control, and he apparently has this horrific fear of everything now. Like, he never was afraid of the vet, and now he's like, he'll pee all over himself. He's so afraid of the vet. No idea why. Like, nothing happened. I hear you down there. You know I'm talking about you.
He's like, Mom, come hang out with me.
So, yeah, and I know people like to say it's a dominance thing. I swear to God, like, dog behavior is so much more complex than dominant and submissive, and
they're like little people.
I think they're like little people, but they're like at age 3. So like you have, there's no like logical sense of like half of what goes on in a dog's brain. So like we're trying our hardest to make him a good little guy. I would love to get his behavior on track and get him certified as like a therapy dog. Not because I need a therapy dog, but so that I could bring him more places. Because I think his problem is he needs constant socialization. He can't just... Most dogs, if they're socialized between the age of 16 weeks and a year, they're good for the rest of their lives. Even if they don't see a dog for 10 years, if they were socialized in that imprint period of their life, it's fine. Like, they're fine. Tykus stopped going to work with me and, like, stopped leaving the house a lot when I started working from home, and it was like he forgot everything that he learned. Like, it's just out the window. So he just needs a lot more constant stimulation and constant socialization. And I don't know, we're doing the best we can. He's going to be a good dog, all said and done. Even though he's actively being very annoying right now. Today he's kind of mad at me because we started a new feeding regimen. He's not really into food, but like we were not free feeding him, but we would put out food and just like leave it if he didn't eat it. And like today we started feeding him out of like a working toy, like so it's got holes and shit in it, and he has to like tip it over to get food out. But he's like pissed about it. He like knows I put the food in there. He knows that like I made this difficult for him. Which is weird like, because, like, clearly he's smart enough to, like, know that this is my fucking fault. He's just, like, take the food out of there, Mom. What the hell? You're a jerk. I want to eat this.
Like, why are you doing
this? I don't want to push this around with my nose until kibble falls out. I want you to take the food out and put it in my bowl like a civilized dog. So, I don't know. I think with an outlet for his energy, and I think with, you know, an appropriate redirection of his behaviors, I think he's being the worst right now. I'm trying to say what a great dog he's going to be, and he's like crying in the background.
Yeah, he is. He's going to be a great dog.
You're going to be a great dog someday, asshole.
I believe in him.
Anyways, this podcast ran way over, so we're going to go. I'm so sorry if you watched us for 2 hours and 15 minutes. This wasn't supposed to be 2 hours and 15 minutes. This always happens. So we will be back on Tuesday, April 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you need more Chiib in the meantime, please go check out her Twitch channel, twitch.com/IamChiib. She streams a lot, like 5 days a week. No. Tell him you stream. He's not crying. Don't feel bad for him. He's just annoying.
I stream every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. If you guys would like to come and hang out, we have a really great community on my little Twitch channel, and everybody's super friendly there. So you should come by and make some friends.
Yes.
Derp around a lot.
Do it. Go check out Chiib. The Twitter hashtag, once again, if you want to submit questions, is Derpcast Q&A. That's the letter N. So we're going to go. I hope that you guys are all having a wonderful weekday life. Shut up, Tykus. We're going to go. Have a great day. We love you all. We'll see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.